from earning a BS of Electrical Engineering and an MBA. His accomplishments include CEO of a high-tech company, President of Sales, and Vice President of International Sales for a Fortune 500 company. Victor has traveled throughout the U.S. and internationally to places like South Africa, Australia, the Middle East, Asia, and Latin America, and has shared the stage with such great guest speakers as Zig Ziglar, Dr. Robert Schuller, and Rudy Giuliani. He is the author of several books and founder of Sales Influence, a sales training company based right here in Atlanta. We are proud to have him here today to share some thoughts on sales success and taking it beyond expectations. Please give a warm FleetCor welcome to Victor Antonio.
How you guys doing? Come on, everybody stand up. Stretch down. Come on, one good stretch. All right. I gotta wait for you up to get you going. All right. Thank you. Thank you. That was so undeserved. Have a seat. All right. Thank you very much. By the way, how you guys feeling today? Good, good. So there's some pressure here. So I didn't know that. Chuck was the one that recommended me. So last night, I'm in Orlando, just finished an event. I'm waiting in line at the airport. I get Chuck a call, right? Ring, ring. It's Chuck. Victor, how you doing? Now, I didn't know. Again, I just didn't know it was Chuck. So he's like, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. I said, what do you mean you'll see you tomorrow? He says, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I said, okay. I said, what about it? He said, well, I recommended you to Paul. I said, okay, well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And he's like, well, don't screw it up. You know what I mean? I'm calling you to make sure you don't screw it up. So there's a lot of pressure on me right now, like, don't screw it up, Chuck. Much love, man. All right. All right. Now, I got two types of keynotes I usually give. I got a real boring one. I got a real exciting one. Both contain the same content, but I'm going to give you the choice. Clap if you want the boring one. Who are you? Clap if you want the exciting one. If you don't care, as long as it's good and it's real short. Alright, you weren't supposed to clap on that one. Alright, now before I share a lot of information with you, I just want to give you a lot of stuff. Well, let's do an exercise. I got to make sure I want to test your mental dexterity with your right hand. Free your hands up for a second. With your right hand, do the OK sign. Alright, now listen carefully. Instructions are very important. Go down to your middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, and work that sucker all the way back up. Did anybody have a problem with that? Oh, I'm looking at you. No? Good. You can stay in the room still. All right, left hand, same thing. Okay sign. Do the same thing all the way down, all the way back up. Anybody have a problem with that? Good. True test, FleetCor, do not fail me. We're going beyond expectations. Here it is. First step. With your right hand, give me your okay sign. With your left hand, put your thumb on your pinky finger. Now, what I want you to do at the count of 3, wait till I count to 3. Okay? At the count of 3, what I want you to do is simultaneously multitask, trying something new. Go down with one and up with the other. It's really simple. I said, wait till I count to 3. Okay? All right, 1, 2, 3, go. We did not go beyond expectations there. By the way, visually, this is what I see. A bunch of grown people doing this. What are they doing that? Now, let me ask you a question. Why was it easy to do this with one hand and then do it with the left hand? Why? You've always done that, right? That's something you've always done. But when I asked you to do something that you maybe have never done, was it quite a challenge? Yes or no? That's what 2013 is about, right? Doing something, what? Different that we've never done before in order to what? Increase our sales, right? Now, studies have shown that if you practice this for 30 days, it becomes a what? Habit. Now, that comes with a warning label. If you walk around your office practicing like this, you'll never get a promotion. Okay? And if you do this in public, people will think you're what? Special. Okay? And that's why I like to look at it. So what I'm going to do is share some information with you. A lot of it's new stuff. A lot of it's different. When you first see it, it might feel like this. But if you start integrating it into your business plan, into your marketing, into your sales, you'll see the impact it's going to have. Let me start with this statement. Archimedes' principle. Archimedes said, give me a long enough pole and a place to stand, and I can move the world. What does that mean to you? Client is your status quo, right? What was your biggest challenge of today? What's your biggest competitive issue today? The status quo, right? Getting people to what? Get up, So what is our job? If we can grow our pole of influence, right? And get people to what?
Get up.
Get up. Then we'll stand a better chance of selling. You with me? Because influence is everywhere, but we have to be aware of it in order to take advantage of it. You with me? Just say yes?
Yes.
All right, let me give you a couple examples. Here's influence by Webster. The act of producing an effect without exertion of force or direct command. I don't know about you, but I'm ADD. That's too hard for me. Okay? How about this? The ability to guide a person's behavior or make them comply passively. Sounds a little Machiavellian to me. Let's go with something even simpler. How about this? The ability to what?
Nudge.
Nudge. And now what?
Push.
Customers don't like to be what? Pushed. Because when you push somebody into buying, it creates what? That sales reactance. They don't want to buy from you. So what is our job in today's market? We have smart buyers, right? Less tolerant, but smarter, right? Less loyal, but smarter. So what we want to do is not push them. We want to what? Do you think you're always being nudged? At a subconscious level, do you think you're always being nudged? Yes, you are. Everywhere you go, you're being nudged. Let me give you an example. Here's selling. How to sell is what people look at, right? When you look at all the books today on Amazon, there's about 52,000 books on sales, all about how to sell. If you break them up into 3 categories, you get strategic sales, how to approach your market. There's tactical, face-to-face, belly-to-belly type of sales approach. And then there's what? Motivational, right? Woo! Go get them, right? And that's what you see. But the market has changed. People are smarter. Buyers are smarter. I started looking at the other side of the equation, which is what? How people what? Buy. Because if I can understand how they buy, if I know how they buy, if I know what motivates my buyer, and I know how they make a buying decision, and during my conversations with them, whether it's face-to-face or on the phone, if I can find moments of influence to nudge them in a certain direction, do you think that would be to our advantage? Yes or no? Yes. I think so. Let me give you an example. Did you know that when you walk into a store, a major store, they need 10 feet of space in front of the door? Studies have shown that customers need that much space to orient themselves before deciding which way to go. Okay? Did you also know that the majority of people go to the what?
Right.
Which means that the most valuable piece of real estate in any place, store, is what? Off to the right, which is where you put your point of purchase, right? Point of sale, right? Get the idea? Now, did you also know consumers have a velocity when they walk? If you have a narrow aisle, people will walk faster. But if you widen the aisles, people will what? Slow down. Which is why when you get to the jewelry section, the perfume section, everything goes what? Wide. But what if you don't have the luxury of wide aisles like Walmart? What do? They put speed bumps in the aisles. Have you seen that? Oh yes, you've seen that. You're walking, right? Probably have a better walk than that. Right? And all of a sudden there's a bin in the middle. It's a sale, right? $5 CD. Whoa, whoa. Stop. That's a mental speed bump. What they're trying to do is slow you down so you can look at it. You ever notice when you're on the road, nobody else is on the road, you're real slow, you're casual about driving, right? But when there's a lot of traffic, what are you trying to do?
Speed up.
Especially if you're a guy, right?
Yep.
You don't have one car because it makes all the difference in the world, right? That's how we do, right? That's what we do. Did you know there's something called an interception rate? Did you ever walk into a store, somebody comes up to you and says, can I help you find something? Right? Did you know that by simply asking that question, sales go up 30%? Register that 30% by simply asking. Did you know that we're impulse buyers? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Where do they put the milk? In the grocery store? All right. Whoever said refrigerator, leave the room. Thank you for the obvious, right? Check this quota, Paul. Check the quota. Right? All right. So here's what happens. They put it in the back because they'll know they put the meat in the back, they put the eggs in the back, they put the milk in the back because they want to what? Walk to the back and then come back and maybe you'll find some cookies, some donuts, the whole bit. You're being influenced all the time. Let me ask you a question. I'm not trying to make you hungry right now. If I asked you honestly, which burger would you choose right now? How many would choose the big burger? Raise your hand. Come on, raise your hand. How many would choose 5, 10, 15? How many would choose the small burger? Raise your hand. All right, wonderful. Studies have shown that most people will choose the what? The small burger. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're a salesman. I know you are. And now you're selling burgers. And now you have to convince somebody to buy the big burger. What do? How do you sell it? You sell the features? Right? You sell the benefits? You sell the advantage, right? You sell the difference? You sell the value, right? Is that what you do? The answer is what? No. Here's what you do. You don't want to push people. You want to what? Yeah. Here's what you do. You insert a third burger. You insert a third burger. Studies have shown that when you're given 3 options, people will choose the one in the what? Always to mitigate their risk. Don't believe me? Go to Starbucks, go to McDonald's, doesn't matter. Here's how you do it. Go for the one in the middle. Right? Now, what do you think the biggest profit margin is? The middle. I had somebody ask me one day, I said, Victor, but what if I only have 2 products to sell? What did I say? Shut up. Make up a third one. Doesn't matter. Add one. Get the idea. So from this day forward, how many options do we provide? 3. You with me? All right. Manuel University did an interesting study. I want to share this study with you. If you know anybody who works as a waiter or waitress, you might want to pay attention and share this information with you. So what they found out is that if you go to somebody's table, right, after dinner, and you present them with a check, typically, what's your percentage tip? What do you guys give?
20.
Somebody yesterday goes 5. I'm like, dang, right? Let's say 20, right? Let's say you get 20. So somebody comes over, 20% typical tip. Okay, I said, can we increase that tip rate? Could we influence them to what? Increase the tip rate. And what they decide to do is when they come up, the server comes over and gives you your bill, they add a mint. And just by adding a mint, tip rates went up 3.3%. Wow. By adding 1 mint. Which begs the question. What if I add 2 minutes? So we add 2 minutes, well, I added 2 minutes. And guess what? 14.1. Wow. Which really begs the question. How many?
3.
You've gone too far. You pushed it too far. That didn't work. What they found out to be the real power tool was this. What they found out is that if they come over and give you 1 minute, right? Give you 1 minute, so you guys have been great. Thank you very much for coming back. When you come back, give you 1 minute, and then the person pretends to walk away. And then says, last minute, you know what? I really like you guys. Here's another minute. And what happens to the tip rate? Bam! 23%. Now, this is, I'm having fun with this, but there's something very valuable in here. There's 3 reasons this strategy works that you can use on a day-to-day basis. What do you think of the 3 reasons? Why do you think? This is the rule of reciprocity, right? So he gives you something, you feel inclined to give something back. But what are the 3 elements that are involved here? What's happening psychologically? Tell me how you feel. Special. The first one is special. 2, it's very what? Personal, right? It's you. But there's a 3rd element, which is the key one. It was what? It was appreciated. It was what? It was, oh, close. It was unexpected. Because in today's market, your product is no different than anybody else. You'll have a difference for a while, but guess what? At the end of the day, somebody will figure out how to what? Offer that also. So trying to offer quality, a difference in quality, is not going to work. A difference in value is not going to work. Here's where the differentiators come in. Offer unexpected value. Something the client does not expect. Do you ever have somebody just send you something that was totally unexpected? And what do you say to yourself?
Oh, that was nice.
That was really nice. Do you remember that person? Yes or no?
Yeah.
5 moments where you can give something that's unexpected. You with me? Say yes?
Yes.
Love it. All right. Ellen Langer did an interesting study. Harvard psychologist. Wanted to find out if you can increase compliance, right? But not push people. She wanted to what?
Yeah.
Nudge, right? So there were people lined up at a copier, and Ellen Langer wanted to find out that if I wanted to make coffee, and if I went to the front of the line, how many people actually let me cut in? Right? So I would say something like this. Excuse me, I have 5 pages for me. I use a Xerox machine. What percentage actually let me cut in? Yell it out. 0. East Coast in the house. Right? 0. That's a little hard, man. You know, my wife's from Minnesota. When I was in Minnesota and I did this, we're like, 90%. Yeah, you know. Yell out a number. More or less? 5. Oh, so true people in there. 60% said yes. So Ellen Langer said, wait a minute. Can we increase that number or maybe decrease it? What if I give them a reason? Because I'm in a rush. Number goes up or down.
Down.
Oh, you're so wrong. It goes up to 94%. 94%. So then Alan Langer said, wait a minute, let's take this to the next level. Let's take out the reason I'm in a rush and put in a non-value statement. Non-value. In other words, because I have to make copies. Duh. Why else would you go to a copier place to make a copy, right? The number goes up or down? Down. Number goes down by 1 percentage point to 93. It's amazing. What Ellen Langer figured out is that the word because is a trigger. It is a compliance trigger. It's almost like, you know, a Pavlovian dog. Ding, salivate, there you go. Right? Some of you got it. All right. Where did the dog thing come from? All right. Well, what happens is because is a trigger. People don't even listen to the reason after it. They just kind of know, they hear the word because, and it moves them. And why does that happen? Because when you were young and you asked a question, Mommy, can I go outside? No, why? Because, right? Can I have somebody to go to the theater? No, why? Because, and you never asked. So because has become this trigger. So when you insert the word because, like, can you please fill out this form? Because, most people almost immediately start writing. It's a fascinating concept. Now I know what you're thinking. If you're a single guy in here, oh, I know what you're thinking. Victor, are you saying what I think you're saying? Are you implying what I think you're implying? Are you telling me what I think you're telling me? Are you saying, Victor, that if I'm a single man and I see a beautiful young lady pass by and I say, can you come to my place? Because? No matter what I say, she's going to say yes. Is that what you're saying? Ladies, what's the answer? No! That's what I thought you said. Right? The answer is? No. Emphatic no. The answer is no. Because Langer figured out that the request has to be reasonable. Sorry, fellas. Right? When you move it from 5 to 20, what happens? The numbers, what, immediately drop. You see what I mean? Influence is everywhere, and once you start detecting what people say to you, what they do to you, how to position things, you become more effective at selling. See, this, when we talk about going beyond expectations, this is what we're talking about. Everybody goes through the basic sales training programs, right? But the internet changed everything. It gave people access to information, people have more information, sometimes they have more information than you do. Which means that we have to be smarter in finding ways to what? Nudge them. And unless we do that, we're not going to be as effective. You with me so far?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so here are the conclusions. We're more susceptible to influence than we care to admit. We are. All of us in here are susceptible to influence. The most influential people are the least obvious. Right? Because those are the ones you never expect to influence you. Right? Everybody thinks it's the person with a nice suit. No, 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 no. It's those quiet ones you got to look out for. Right? And the rules of influence apply no matter what you're selling. Would you agree? Now, are we all in sales? Yes or no?
Yes.
Who's not in sales? Raise your hand. Who's not in sales? Raise your hand proud. All right, great. Lower your hand. You're in sales. We're all in sales. We've been in sales since day one. I'll prove it to you. When you were born, you were a baby, you were bawling. Bawling is just another form of what? Selling. You're selling your mother on the idea that you're hungry. Right? As you got older, you started begging. No, wow, they call it. Apparently your sales pitch wasn't that good, right? Because you were selling, right? And as you got older, you started bargaining. If I walk the dogs and do this, can I use the car for the week? Bargaining is just another form of what? Selling. Let me talk to the ladies for just a second. Ladies, just say yes.
Yes.
Ladies, let me ask you a question. Guy comes up to you. Says, how you doing? Where you from? What's your name? What's he doing?
Selling.
Selling. That's what he's doing. That's called prospecting. Right? Then he asks you this. Then he tells you, he says, well, I work for FleetCor, I do this, I have this position, I have this, I drive here, and I live over here. What's he doing, ladies? He's selling. Credibility is being built at this point. And then he goes straight for rapport. He goes, what type of music do you like? And you say, well, I like a little R&B, Tim Pendergrass, back in the day, Bobby Womack. He's like, I do too. Ladies, what is he doing? What do you like? And you say, well, I like romantic comedy. And he's like, shh. Shut up. Ladies, what is he doing? He's what? Selling.
He's lying.
You are correct. No lady in here would disagree with you, unless it was the lady who said it. Was it you again? Oh, she's like, no, it wasn't me. Now, fellas, let me ask you a question, real simple. You see a beautiful lady walking by. Beautiful shoes, nice outfit, got the jewelry, makeup, hair done just right. What is she doing?
Selling.
No, that's marketing. You gotta know the difference. You gotta know the difference, okay? That's marketing. We're all in sales. Folks, we're all in sales. We're always selling. Now, I'm going to give you the Killer Sales app. I give you a lot of information, but I'm going to give you the Killer Sales app. And this will apply no matter what you're selling, whether it's face-to-face or on the phone. This is the Killer Sales app. Now, I don't usually share this sales app with just anybody, but I'm going to share it with you. For one reason, and one reason only. I need you to listen carefully, this is important. The only reason I would share this with you is because I love you. And I'm selling. You too. You're selling. And you're lying, Victor. All right, listen carefully. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to selling, what is more impactful, the fear of loss or the desire for gain?
Fear of loss.
Say fear of loss, raise your hand. Fear of loss, desire for gain, right? It depends. All right, a couple of lawyers in the house, right? Here's the deal. If it is the fear of loss, we've been taught from Sales 101 is to what? Sell the features, sell the benefits, sell the advantage. And that is the what? The gain. Selling the gain is important. But what is more motivating is when you sell the what? The pain. Let's go back to Archimedes' principle. In order for you to leverage somebody to buy, to move out of the status quo or get off their status quo, you have to find a way to generate enough pain for them to say, I'm so displeased with what I have that I want to buy from you. And if you cannot do that, they'll say, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. You've all heard that, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen this. Now, let me give you an example. Ernest Dichter, also known as a true father of motivation research. Most people don't know who Ernest Dichter is. Ernest Dichter is the father of motivation research, but not motivation research as in, woohoo, you're the best. Not that. Motivation research in terms of consumer buying habits, how people buy. In 1960, he wrote a book called The Strategy for Desire. And in that book, he had a wonderful phrase that said, in order to get people to buy, we must make them constructively discontent. And I thought that was such a powerful phrase. Because you don't want to just make them discontent, that's purely unhappy. You want to make them constructively discontent so they'll buy from you. You with me so far? Let me give you a visual example so you can understand how powerful this concept really is. Because if you understand it from this day forward, you'll sell the features, sell the benefits, sell the gain. But then in the back of your mind, you'll say, well, how do I sell the loss? Here's what it is. Remember this? Remember the record player? All right, how many remember the record player? Just clap. Right? We had 33s, we had 45s, and we had... How much you want to know that? Excellent. Right? And so what happened? You were happy with the record player. We were happy with the record player, right? Once in a while, you go by and count the scratch. Right? But you enjoyed it, right? Mom wasn't looking, right? So you were happy with your record player. You were happy with your record player. Then what happened? What came out?
Tape.
8-track. Remember the 8-track? Oh yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire was my first one. And so remember, you're like, wow, 8 songs, I don't have to what? Drop the needle, right? And then I can what? It's now portable. I can put it in my car. You're like, wow. And if you want to listen to your song, you had to drive around the block a few times. Remember, you had to loop the whole thing? You just couldn't go to your song, right? And so now you became constructively discontent with your what? Record player, and you moved over to the 8-track. Now, you were happy with your 8-track. You're like, my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. What a great 8-track. And then what came out?
Cassette.
Cassette came out, you're like, wow, smaller, more songs, I can fast forward to what I want, right? So now you became constructively discontent with your 8-track, and we moved over to the cassette. Then we're all happy with your cassette. Then what came out? CD. And then what happened? What happened? No! something interesting happened. Back in the day, we didn't understand what a CD was. We said square, circle. That's all we kind of knew. One was flat, and the other one was a little bigger than the other one, right? So it was almost like parody, right? We didn't know the difference. And at that very moment, the marketing people went to work on your brain. Here's what they said. They came up with a new phrase called high fidelity. High fidelity did not exist before the CD. Now, they were smart. They could have been engineers and given you specifications on what high fidelity is, frequency drop-offs and all those wonderful things. But that's not what they did. Here's what the marketing people did. What they said was, go back home, listen to your audio cassette, right? And in the background, you'll hear, you won't hear that with a CD. You're like, what? Are you kidding me? So what do? You go back home. You go back home, and what do? Pop the sucker in, close it, hit the play button. What do you hear in the background? You're like, oh, where'd that come from? Now, here's the fascinating thing. It was always what? Yeah, but you never noticed it. Because it was what? In the background, you never noticed it. Now, there's an important lesson in here. Isn't that what we have to do with our customers? Sometimes there's something going on in the background that they're not even aware of, and we as experts provide the insight, because we know the business better, right? So wait a minute. And then you what? You point it out. And as soon as you point out something to the customer, how much money they're losing, what they're not doing right, that's when they go, oh, but you got to make it painful enough for them to what? Move over. And again, this is how we sell. How do you generate pain? And we went to the CD. Where did we go next after the CD? iPod. How did they sell us on the iPod? What was the pain? What was the pain?
Auto CD.
Scratch on the CD.
CD.
Skipping on the CD. A lot. Now you can carry so many, right? You got to buy them on, they're more expensive. And then iTunes was created, right? With Apple, they came out with 99 cents. Now we can buy the one we want. And so forth and so on. So you don't have to buy the whole album. Then you can carry them with you. You can carry 3,000 songs. Wow. Right? So you're like, and you don't have to put your CDs in the visor. Right? Like that judgmental people don't look at you and go, oh, you're so bad. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden, those were painful moments. And we moved over to the iPod. Now where are we at? We now put it on our what?
Phone.
Or Droid, right? And now what are they trying to get us to do with our music? They said, you don't want to put it on your hard drive, on your cell phone, because what? And now you put it where?
In the cloud.
In the cloud. We're constantly being what? Nudged. But the only way to nudge a client is to make them constructively discontent with what they have, and then nudge them over. You with me so far? Yes? Yes. Beautiful. Here's the difference between an average salesperson and a great salesperson. This is it in a nutshell. Average salespeople practice what to say. The best of the best practice what to ask. Totally different. Because the best have figured out that if I ask questions, I can control the conversation. I can guide my customer's behavior. I can have them come to a conclusion that I've already predetermined. Let me say that again. I can have them come to a conclusion that I've already predetermined. Do you think that's possible? Yes or no? I'll prove it to you. Get a piece of paper out with a pen. You're going to write. Just get a piece of paper out. We're going to do this real quick. Listen carefully. Get a blank sheet of paper. You're going to need it real quick. Now, here's what I want you to do. Don't let your neighbor see your number. You're going to write a number down. Write a number down between 2 and 10. Go ahead. Write it real quick. I'm not slowing down for anybody. Write a number down between 2 and 10. Got it? Say yes?
Yes.
Beautiful. Take that number, multiply it by 9. Go ahead. You should have a 2-digit number. If you have a 1-digit number, leave the room. All right. So, you got a 2-digit number, right? Yes? Yes. All right. Take those 2 digits, add them together, so you should have 1-digit number. You got that number? Yes. Beautiful. Now, do me a favor. Subtract the number 5 from that number. You should have still a single-digit number. Now, I want you to look at that number. Subtract the number 5 from that number, right? Now, look at that number. And that number corresponds to the letter of the alphabet. So in other words, if it's a 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, 5E. Get the idea? Write the letter down. Got the letter? Yeah. Give me a big verbal.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now, I want you to think of a European country. Of a European country that begins with that letter. Write it down. Got it. Okay? Write it down. Now, look at the country. Focus on the country. Look at the second letter in that country. Looking at the second letter? Think of a large land mammal that begins with that letter. Okay? You got it? Yeah. Write down the color of that mammal. Write down the color of that mountain. Now, I want you to raise your hand if this makes sense. Let me see how many people were able to keep up with me. Raise your hand if this makes sense. There are no great elephants in Denmark. Is it possible? Okay, we got 50-50 going here. How many got? Raise your hand. Oh, more than 50. All right, I'm here proud of you. Good. Is it possible to develop a sequence of questions to have somebody come to a predetermined conclusion? Yes. But you gotta what? Work through it. Now let me give you one more example. I'm going to show you how to tie pain and the questioning process together. You with me, guys? Okay, I'm going to show you how to tie pain and the questioning process together with a true story. So I have a UPS mailbox, right? The lady at the place, her name is Sally. I see Sally every year because I got to renew my mailbox. So last year, I remember looking through the mailbox, going to renew my contract. And I said, you know, Sally, I never asked, I paid $220, I never asked you about the smaller mailbox. How much is the small mailbox? She goes, it's $160, David. I said, well, I'm thinking what? $60 is $60, right? We're still in a recession. $60 is about, you know, 10 to 12 lattes for me at Starbucks. I'm thinking maybe I should go with the what? And I'm not getting a lot of mail. Maybe I should go with the small one. And then Sally looked at me from across the counter, and I could hear that Clint Eastwood music in the background. That one, right? Because I'm thinking, oh, here it comes. She's going to sell me. She is going to sell me. You ever see somebody going to sell you? And so I said, oh, all right. And then I braced myself. You know when somebody's one thing, you just brace yourself like, all right, go ahead. And I said, here it comes. She's going to sell me the game. She's going to say, bigger is better. You want easy access. It's more convenient. You don't have to pick up your mail every for 2 to 3 weeks. Mailbox won't get jammed. Letters won't get crushed. You can handle bigger packages with that. Victor, you want to stay with the big box. Feature benefit, right? All over the place, right? That's not what she did. Oh, no. Here's what Sally did. She said, Victor, I understand that's cheaper. $60, that's quite a difference. But, so let me ask you a couple of questions. Deborah. If you change your address, your mailbox, you'll have to change your address. And if you change your address, will you have to change your business cards? And if you change your business card, will you have to change the information on your website? And if you don't edit your own website, you're going to hire somebody to do that. So you got to order new business cards and maybe edit your website or get somebody to do it for you. And on top of that, if you have promotional material, now you'll have to what? Change all the information text on the promotional material and have to do all that. And last but not least, you have to contact all your clients that your address has changed. Let me ask you a question, Victor. How much time and money will that cost? And I looked at her dead in the eyes. And I said, shut up. Just renew it. You know what I mean? Just renew it. Because she understood the power of what? Developing the pain. And you can do it with questions. I'm telling you, every day that you're talking to your customer, it counts. How many folks, even as you're talking to customers, everything you say is impactful. Would you agree with me? Everything you say to a customer is impactful, but how you sequence things is the most important part. And we never think about this. We just talk, right? I talk to a lot of gifted salespeople, veterans, been in the business 20, 30, 40 years, right? And yeah, I ask them, why are you so good? They're like, I don't know, man, I just go in there and, I do my thing. Talk to them, they'll never bore. I just know how to do it. I can't explain it. The problem with that is that if they can't explain it, how are they going to explain it to people who work for them? In other words, it's not duplicatable or repeatable, and therefore it isn't consistent. So we got to have a sales process. Everybody in here has to have their own process, but it has to be a process. Now, before I go on, I want to share some more information, but I want to show my appreciation for you, because I really enjoyed being here, and I want to thank you so much for having me here. But it's easy to say, I appreciate you, but it's always better to what? Show your appreciation. So I'm going to show my appreciation. How am I going to show that? I'm going to give you my books for free. Okay? You're going to get books. Thank you very much. Now, these are the different books. The one we talked about today a lot is Sales Influence. I'm going to give you a link. You can download all the books. No email required, okay? No email required. Just download and have some fun with them. I also got some books on motivation, some fictional novels I've written on sales and motivation. Enjoy them. Download them. On top of that, I'm also going to include a documentary. I did a movie called The Motivator. It was a documentary we did about 3 years ago. It's been nominated for several film festivals, won one International Film Festival award. It's called The Motivator. It's 24 hours in the life of a speaker. I wonder who could that be? Yes, you get the idea. Great movie. Again, that's the link, okay? I'll have that link ready for you tomorrow. And tomorrow you'll be able to download all that stuff. Is that fair? Yes? Happy? Wait. Value unexpected time. So, on top of that, because I really like you, I also am going to give you access to something I don't usually share with anybody. Oh, here it comes. I'm going to give you this. You're going to be able to download the MP3 for this. Yes? My first sales rep. Wesley, give it to me. Come on. That's right. I have it like that. Listen.
Oh, this is the grand club. Another sales and business production. Coming at you live about the sales rep.
They're beautiful.
Check it out. I sell in the east, I sell in the west, I sell to the world because I'm the best. I don't discriminate.
That's enough, Wesley. All right. You get that also. I know. Top management going, that is so cheesy. Yes, I agree. But nonetheless, there it is. But anyway, download that, enjoy it. The books are great. May I recommend 2 books? Sales Influence is one. The one that I also recommend that's very powerful is Response Block Selling. Response Block Selling is how to develop a persuasive presentation. It has 23 different script examples of how to develop pain and how to block objections, okay? Totally different workshop, totally different seminar. But download those, enjoy those, and have one. A great 2013. All right? Now, here's a question I often get. Victor, you started out as an engineer. How did you go from being an engineer, right? Being an engineer, to actually becoming, by the way, started out as an engineer, why do you think I went into sales?
More money.
Money. You think I would go into sales just for money?
Yep.
You think I'm that shallow?
Yep.
You have pegged me. Yes, you are correct. So I started out in engineering, went into sales, been very successful in sales, became VP of Sales and Marketing for international marketing, lived in Argentina, ran all of our Latin America. We grew our revenues in 2.5 years from 14 million to 98 million, and our pricing was 50% over our competitors all the time. It isn't always about price, it's about providing the right value and support, right? So people always ask me, well, how do you do all these things? You know, what made you successful in sales? Well, I'm about to share with you my secret sauce. You ready for it? Now, I don't usually share my secret sauce with just anybody, but I'm going to share it with you for one reason and one reason only. That's it, and that too, right? Because I'm getting paid for it. Yes, that too. Right? By the way, is there anything wrong with salespeople being coin-operated?
No.
No! Be proud of that!
That's right.
When I talk to, look, let me just go off on a little tangent here because I want to instill something in you. Salespeople, inside, outside, doesn't matter. Companies cannot exist without you.
That's right.
They can have the best product in the world, the best marketing in the world, but if there's nobody out there to push it through the channels, it does not happen. Be proud of what you do. Love what you do, but the money will come always, right? We'll talk about that. So here's the secret sauce. 3 steps. First step is listen carefully. You got to ask. Would you agree with me? Sometimes we don't want to ask for the order. We don't want to ask for something because we're what? Afraid of what? Rejection. We do this all the time. Perfect example. So I've been married 24 years now, right? 4 different women, add up the years, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's always some ladies in the crowd going, that was not funny. That was not funny. It was a joke, one wife, 24 years. So my wife, who's from Minnesota, right? Anybody from Minnesota? One person? Love Minnesota. We spent Christmas up in Cold Spring near St. Cloud. Excellent. So, from Minnesota, and so I started dating my wife, right? We're driving to Chicago, my hometown. And we're driving. And my wife is sitting in the passenger side, we're driving. And my wife looks over at me and she says, are you hungry? So I look over, I go, no, not really. And I keep driving. Yeah. It's amazing how ladies get that like that. Guys go, yeah. Ladies are like, oh, no, you didn't, right? Oh, so within like seconds, I feel heat. Right? And I look over and it's my wife, and she's staring dead at me with that dirty look like, and I said, you know, typical guys response, what? Right? What'd I do? She said, nothing. And as soon as your wife or girlfriend says nothing, that's a few hours, cone of silence, timeout, penalty box. It's just the way it works, right? So finally, later on, I said, well, why'd you get mad at me? She goes, well, I asked you if I was hungry. I said, well, I told you I wasn't. You know, she asked me if I was hungry. I said, no, I wasn't. Right? And she goes, yeah, what did she say, ladies? I was, and you didn't ask. She says, look at you. Just like a chorus here. Right? And you didn't ask me. Right? That should be your new song. And you didn't ask me. Right? So she goes, yeah, but you didn't ask me. I said, you should have asked. You know what she said? You should have.
No.
Yeah! Like, you know, like I'm on Svengali or something. Like I should have known. Right? Women, oh. You know, here's the guy version of that same scenario. I'm driving, partner riding shotgun. Right? We're driving. He asked me, Victor, you hungry? I go, not really. Guys, what do you say?
I am.
Hey? There's the guy. I am. He's like, I am. Pull over. You gotta ask. You gotta ask. All right. By the way, rule number 1, gotta ask. Rule number 2, you gotta know how to ask. Listen carefully. So we're living in Miami. Don't judge me. Okay? I should tell you, we came out of Georgia about 9 years ago. And before I tell you a story about knowing how to ask, just a side note. And we were living in Miami for 5 years. And so people talk really what? Fast, right? Really fast, really fast. And when you get up here, what happens?
Slow down.
Things begin to slow down quite a bit, right? And that's okay. And so I got this friend named Larry. I'm sorry, not Larry. Larry. Right? And Larry's like, he's like a good old boy, right? He's like 70 years old. He's a good old boy. Backwood good old boy, right? I love that man. Give you the shirt off his back. That's how good he is, right? And so he was one of the first people I met as my customers up here, my clients up here, right? And I remember he would always tell me stories, right? For example, I learned stuff from him because he's old school. He's Jerry Fowler old school. Who remembers Jerry Clower, rather? Yeah, see? Some people remember who Clower is, right? Back in the day. If you understand who Jerry, right? Yeah, see, he understands. Am I right? That's backwood. If you don't understand what we're talking about, don't worry about it. So all of a sudden, Larry tells me things like, you know, there's certain sayings that they have, right? My favorite one is like, if you're depressed, right, you're in low cotton. Didn't know that, right? If you're mad, what happened? Somebody licked the red off your candy cane. Right? Man, you look like somebody licked the red off your candy cane. When in Rome, it was the Romans, right? And so one day when I first met Larry, I'm talking real fast because I just came from Miami, right? I'm talking fast and he's like, whoa, slow down, Victor. He said, man, listening to you, I feel like a monkey making love to a skunk. I was like, what? You ever have somebody say something, and it's like your gears lock up. Like, nothing up here is moving, it locks up. I go, what does that mean? Right? What does it mean? He says this, when I'm listening to me, he goes, man, I don't know if I had all I want, but I know I had all I can take. Basically, tell me, shut up, right? So, let's get back to work. Step number 2. So we're living in Miami, right? I just bought myself a new Volvo. Again, don't judge me, right? So I pulled into a gas station in Miami. The credit card deal wasn't working, so I go inside the small gas station kiosk, right? And I go inside, there's 2 people in line, I'm number 3, right? And I'm in a rush. It's Miami. I'm in a rush, right? And so I'm standing in line, and no sooner I start, get in line, I hear this small voice from up the corner, right? It says, hey, mister. And I'm like, and I look over, and there's this kid, about 13 years old, right? Sitting off in the corner. He's sitting on a plastic tub. Just sitting off in the corner. Looks real strange, right? And he's just trying to get my attention. Hey, mister. And I'm like, me? He said, yeah, you. So I said, what? He goes, is that your car? And he pointed outside where the Volvo was. I said, yeah, but I don't want to talk because I'm in a rush. I'm in a rush, right? And he goes, did you just get it? I go, yeah. I'm like, the Inquisition here? Why did you choose what? Why that model? He just kept going and wouldn't stop, right? And then he said the following. He said, mister, one day I hope to have a car like that. At that very moment, I saw my opportunity to get out of this conversation. So I looked at the young man and said, son, work hard and one day you will. I'm thinking that would end that conversation. Without missing a beat, the young man stands up from his plastic tub and says, sir, that's exactly why I'm here. Lifts the plastic tub to reveal these boxes of chocolate. He says, exactly why I'm here. I'm selling these boxes of chocolates. I want to know if you want to buy one. What did I say?
Yes.
No, it's exactly what I said. That's what I said, no, thank you. Without missing a beat, the young man said, well, if you're not going to buy a box, would you at least buy one bar? So I bought 2 bars. I got 2 kids. But it wasn't until I got home, pulled in my driveway, I realized I got suckered by a 13-year-old. See, this kid understood what is known as the door-in-the-face strategy. In life, never ask for what you want, ask for more than what you want, so you'll get what you want. When you're talking to customers, never sell up this way, you sell up, down, that way, right? Let me do this in slow motion so you understand the psychology, the influence that's occurring here, the nudging. So, slow motion. I say, no. Alright? How do I feel? At that moment in time, how do I feel?
Empowered.
Bad, right? And that's when the cobra strikes. Bam, right there. Because he knows I feel bad and he comes in with the second request. See, the first request is the bogus request. The second request is the target request. If he tried to sell me the bar, what could he sell me after that if I said no?
Nothing.
Nothing. So he goes high and we come down low. Now, can this work in your personal life? I think so. I know how. Let me give you an example. So I've been married how many years?
24.
Thank you for, so there's certain pieces of data that's not necessary to remember. That's one. All right, so I get home one day, my wife says we're going on vacation. Now with my wife, let's be clear, when my wife says we're going on vacation, ladies, that's how it works at our house. Don't fight it, spin, roll over, because even if you win, you lose. Right? Guy philosophy. Right? So she comes over, we're going on vacation. And I said, okay, and she goes, let me find some options. Set me up. I can feel the tee up coming, right? Let me find some options. Are you willing to go on vacation? And that's a trick question. Are you willing to go on vacation? Sometimes she'll say. Oh, I don't know how to answer that, right? But I guess, am I? Yes. And so about a week later, she goes, remember I was talking about those vacations? I go, not really. I said, she goes, well, I found the perfect vacation for us. I said, what is it? She goes, a Mediterranean cruise. Start off in Spain, France, Italy, come back. First question, guys only. What do you ask, guys?
How much?
Yeah! I go, how much? I go, how much? She said, $4,000. I said, for us 4? She looked at me like I was small. No! 4,000 per, $16,000. I said, I'm not paying $16,000. She goes, fine, if you don't want to do that, let's just do the Caribbean cruise. It's only $1,500. Fine, let's do that one. So, and this is do you walk away. Step number 1, you got to ask. Step number 2, you got to know how to ask. Never ask for what you want, always ask for more than what you want, so you'll get what you want, okay? The last one, the main component, probably the most important part of the secret sauce. Now, I'm going to share with you, and you know why, this last ingredient. Now, I need honesty. From the gentlemen, I need honesty. From the men, I need pure honesty here. Okay? Guys, think back to the day when you were single. Okay? You back there? Good. Do you remember going to like a dance, a social event, or a nightclub? Just clap. Okay, some of you didn't clap. I am concerned. Right? Now, answer me this. Did you ever have, and I want you to raise your hand on this one, did you ever have one of those nights where every girl you asked to dance said no? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Be on it. Raise your flags. Be on it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Raise your hand. No, keep them up. 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 They're going up reluctantly, but they're going up. Right? They're going up. All right, keep them up. Keep them up. Don't come down. Now, ladies, look around. No. Ladies, those are honest men. The others are lying or in complete denial, right? Never happened to me, Victor, never, right? So, one night I go out, I have one of these nights, right, where every lady I ask to dance says no to me. And man, it's one of those, it's everyone, no. And at this point, I'm in low cut. Right? I felt like a monkey making love to a skunk, right? I don't know how long I want, but I know how long I can take, you know? I had to go somewhere, right? And so I said, that's it, I'm out of here, right? And I'm about to hit the door. I'm about to hit the door. I'm done. I'm out of here, right? You ever feel that way? Like, you have one of those days where you're like, okay, that's it. You know what I mean? Nobody's saying yes to you. Everybody's hanging up. Nobody's answering the phone. You get voicemail with you, the whole bit. You're like, I'm done. But then, as I was about to hit the door, I heard the words of my mentor. His name was Jose Santana. Now, Jose Santana was Spanish. But I'm talking Spanish. Like Spain Spanish, Canary Island Spanish, right? And he would talk like Ricardo Montalban. Do you remember him? Corinthian leather. That guy, remember that guy? And so Jose would just talk like that, right? I remember he would say my name, he'd go, Victor. And I was like, oh, that sounds sexy. Say that again. Right? You know, I'm a guy, but man, say that again. Right? And so one day I go to Jose's office. Jose was one of those salespeople every year, beyond expectations. Every year. I don't know what he did, but every year it was beyond expectation. In fact, one day he gave me this exercise. He said, Victor, I want to ask you the same question. He says, raise your hand high. Go ahead, raise your hand high. Now, go ahead, raise your hand high. He said, raise it higher. He said, why didn't you do that the first time? I said, see, you can just do the basics, or you can go beyond expectations and do more. All it takes is a little more what? Effort. That's all. And I'm like, oh, I hate you, but I love you. You know, kind of one of those conflicted things, right? But I said, Jose, what is it about you? What is it about your selling that makes you successful? What's your secret formula? And he said to me, very simple. And I said, what? This is what he said. He said, his secret formula was this. He goes, just keep asking until someone says yes. I said, are you telling me that your whole success is predicated on just keep asking until someone says yes? What he said? Just. You know? So, I'm about to hit the door, and all I hear in my head is what?
Just keep asking until someone says yes.
At that very moment, I made a decision. I'm going to go back in the club, and I'm going to keep asking till one of them says yes. I'll go back in there. Pick up the first one. How did I pick the first one? You got to understand, I was looking for a win. We can judge for the quality of the win later. I can tell I just lost half the ladies in the room. So I go to the first one, would you like to dance? She said no. I said next. She said no, I said next. Now before I lose all the ladies, I didn't say it out loud. Okay, that would be rude. Mentally I said what? Next. Third one, no. Next. Fourth, fifth, no. Just keep asking for someone to yes. Finally, number 13 says yes. Couple minutes on the dance floor, DJ said, we're taking a break. I'm like, no! I finally got here. And that night, I learned something very important about women. I can share. Ladies, that night I learned that you have 3 ways of rejecting men. I've gone ahead and categorized them into 3 DEFCON levels. From good to worse. Okay? So you walk up to the lady and say, would you like to dance? She'll say, no, thank you. Not now. I'm with my friends. See, look at you ladies. I love ladies. Body language of ladies is this. Oh, man. That's good. Right? DEFCON level number 2. You ask them, would you like to dance? They go, no. The worst of all 3 rejections, they would you like to dance? They go, right? Now, there's 2 reasons I tell that story. One, my therapist says it helps me see smoking, and I should just talk about it more often, right? Now, by the way, before I go any further, I had a lady who was sitting in the front row, right? And I was telling the story. And she was enjoying the speech, but when I got this story, she started, you notice body language. The salespeople, we notice body language, right? So she went from enjoying to this, and all of a sudden it's like, she started doing this, like, and then the screw face. You know, like, and so later on I asked, I said, you seem upset with the story. She goes, that was wrong, Victor, that whole nightclub thing was wrong. I said, what? She goes, Victor, you can't go up to one girl and ask her 13 times if she wants that. I said, no. I said, there were 13 different women. I just want to be clear with that. Because I say, if it was the same one, that would be what? Stalking. Right? And I looked her dead in the eyes and said, I don't do that anymore. Right? I'm having fun with that story, but here's the serious part of that story. Because we as salespeople face a lot of rejection. And sometimes it's hard, man, just to get right back up, isn't it? Because the rejections are there. You'll get some nice rejection, some not so nice rejection, and sometimes they won't even work on ourselves within this company doing the things we enjoy doing. Because when you do that, success will always follow. But if you just do it for all the wrong reasons, you'll have a JOB, which stands for what? Just over broke, because that's what you'll always need. So we don't want to do a thing in life. We want to what? Do a
Thing.
man, because when you do your thing, beautiful things begin to happen. All of a sudden, the law of attraction kicks in, and everybody gets an automatic MBA. And what does that stand for?
Mega bank account.
Mega bank account.
Gotta
Do
get
it.
it, baby.
Fingers back up. I pledge allegiance
I pledge allegiance
to my thing.
to my thing.
Look at your thing. Let it know you care. To my thing.
To my thing.
I'll rise above.
I rise above,
Doing what I love.
doing what I love.
I will make that dough.
I'll make that dough.
Look how happy you got. You know that right there. Like, one more time. I will make that dough.
I'll make that dough,
Doing what I know.
doing what I know.
And those who laugh.
And those who laugh,
Not like you mean it. And those who laugh.
and those who laugh.
Can kiss my. No. That's what you counting, guys. Assets. Can kiss my assets. Fleet Corps, you guys have been great. Thank you very much. It impacts you. But what I want you to mentally say that the law of averages is always on your side. And next time somebody says no, you're going to say what? Next. I don't have any money. Next. I don't have any time. Fine. Next. If they don't have a need, fine. Next. You don't have an urgency? It's not urgent to them? Next. Whatever it is, you mentally have to say to yourself, what? Say?
Next.
So what are the 3 rules? You got to ask. You got to know how to ask. And what? Just keep asking until someone says? Yes. Are you with me? Yes. Are you ready to end this? No. Oh, I got somebody.